and gentlemen, welcome to another fragrance review on the Robes 08 channel. I'm your host, Mark, the fragrance guru. Today, designer heads, rejoice. This is a designer house that needs no introduction, very well known in our fragrance community. I did several fragrance reviews on the brand. I own several from the brand. I got tons of bottles from this brand. This is the brand of Lacoste. Now Lacoste, it's no secret, I'm not a huge fan of the Lacoste brand as a whole. You guys know, again, I give every fragrance, even if I don't like the brand or if I love the brand, I'm going to give every fragrance in that brand a fair shake. You guys know Lacoste Essential got a decent score from me. Lacoste Style and Play, I actually like that fragrance. It's pretty good. Lacoste Challenge, whew, that one, oh, I put that one through the ringer. And then we got today Lacoste Put Homme. Now I hear great things about this one, so I can't wait to let you guys know my 2 cents about this fragrance. Some people go as far as this is the Lacoste to get. If you're going to get a Lacoste, get this one. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on Lacoste Put Homme, so let's get into it. This is actually one of the most popular. As far as sales go, I'm not too sure if Lacoste Put Homme does very well. I know Essential does well. It is one of the more popular Lacoste fragrances in our community. A lot of established noses really like this one. It has quite some high marks in our YouTube fragrance community too, as one of the better composed scents from the brand. I hope so. Procter & Gamble, Procter & Gamble are, of course, they own the rights to the fragrance name for Lacoste. They're able to sell Lacoste fragrances across the world. I'm not a fan of that brand. They really do subpar fragrances. So again, we got, you know, Lacoste, not known to do some great fragrances. I'm not a huge fan of the brand. Yet on the flip side of things, a lot of renowned noses out there saying really well done. The only Lacoste you should definitely try. Really, this one goes under the radar. I know a lot of people talk about Essential, and that's about it from Lacoste. I don't hear too much chatter about the brand too much, so I can't wait to actually spotlight this one just a bit. So this one actually hit the shelves in 2002, so I had a few years behind it now. Parfumier is actually a well-known parfumier in our game, is Claude Zir. Claude Zir also made Hugo Energize, just to name one. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at bottle presentation. Lacoste Put Homme comes in multiple bottle sizes. You can find it for 1 ounce, 1.7, and the big boy right here, the 3.3 ounce. Retail pricing American, you're looking at around $30 to $80 to purchase this fragrance. This is one of those fragrances that I'd like to let all my subscribers know. If you're watching this video and are interested in this fragrance, this can be had for really cheap online. Go shop around. You can definitely find a bottle of this stuff for under 50 bucks, especially even the big boys. So shop around and you can find a really good discount on this fragrance. So let's take a look at the box itself. Let's go in a little close up here. And as you can see, my box has seen better days. This is actually embossed here, Lacoste Put Homme. And if you take a look at the back, it's got some information here and some at the bottom. And I like when fragrance brands do this. They kind of cut the top here. As you can see, their logo when you close the box. Really a nice touch. I really like that. The bottle itself, guys, very straightforward, clear bottle. As you can see, it's got some ribbing to it. You got the logo right up top, and you got a sticker at the bottom. The cap itself, if I take it off, all plastic. Also, the sprayer itself is actually decent. Yeah, it's a spitter, I would say. Not too bad. Now on to my favorite part of the fragrance review, dissecting this fragrance from top to bottom. Let's go split screen. Let's take a look at the notes of Lacoste Put Homme. Top, super fresh, grapefruit, plum. I'm keeping an eye on the plum. That's a unique note. Apple and bergamot, so super fresh. In the mid, we get a little more of a spicy kick here. Cinnamon, pink pepper, juniper, and cardamom. In the base, much darker notes. Labdanum, sandalwood, musk, vanilla, rum, and cedar. Now the major notes to my nose, some woods here, mostly plum, and that plum note really comes out, it really kicks. Vanilla, some sweetness in here, apple, cinnamon. That combo comes to play in Lacoste Put Homme and reminds me of one of my favorite designer fragrances. I'll probably remind you of that one too. So keep keep it tuned in, and I'll let you guys know which one of my favorite designers it smells like. And then a little pinch of rum, just a bit. I'm gonna classify it in the major notes, but definitely a nice kick of rum in here. Group, this is definitely it's got a woody aspect to it as a backbone. Aromatic, yes, with a spicy kick. How many sprays in wear? 1 on the chest, 2 on the neck, pulse points, and 1 on each arm. And I am set. 5 sprays. You're good to go with Lacoste Homme. So now, time to spray this sucker on my arm here. And I'm going to let you guys know what I smell in the initial first few minutes of Lacoste Homme. So, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys right now, very unpleasant. Why? I'm getting a huge blast of alcohol to start off this fragrance. It's starting off on the wrong foot. Again, I'm not going to docket marks because of this. I'm just going to let it settle on my skin a little bit. But it just refers to the quality of the fragrance. Not a fan of this. But let's get into it. Let's start smelling some of the fragrance here. Now, once I start smelling Lacoste Homme in the first few minutes, you're starting to get that aromatic feel from Lacoste Homme. You can tell there's a darker side to the fragrance. I like fragrances that do this. They got a playful side, you know. They got that nice aromatic, nice, you know, the bergamot, the apple plum, nice and pleasant notes. And then you got the darker notes kind of coming through, you know, that rum and cinnamon and stuff like that. I love when fragrances do this. So, in the opening, you get your typical grapefruit. That is the first thing I smell off my skin. Nothing too authentic, nothing too juicy. The grapefruit is your stereotypical designer grapefruit in the introduction. I can faintly smell some apple popping through and some plum. Again, not too much plum, just a little bit of each one of these notes. If you really put your nose to your skin, again, you can start smelling those darker notes coming through. You're going to get mainly that spice, that cinnamon. She's there. And you start smelling a little bit of the rum here. It's an underlying note. If you miss it, don't worry about it. It is one of those fragrances that this note is actually kind of really blended well into the rest of the fragrance. But it's there. The opening of this scent is pretty busy. It definitely has a lot going for it. It does get... I'm starting to see why it's getting a lot of points from some of the reviewers on YouTube, just because I can see those darker notes coming through, and it has a lot of pleasantness coming through it. It'll really grab attention to a lot of different noses. The plum note starts shining after after 10 minutes. It starts shining and actually taking to the forefront of the fragrance. I love when this plum just came out of nowhere. I was like, This is good. I wasn't expecting such a nice plum note in a fragrance. This one does it really nice, and it's the highlight of the scent, to be honest. The plum note, definitely the highlight of this fragrance. It really gives this scent a color of purple. I know the bottle's gray and the box is gray. I see a little bit of grayness as far as the color goes, as far as this fragrance goes, but I'd like to see a little bit of purple on the box here. Really a nice purple. When I'm smelling this fragrance. The opening of Lacoste Homme is, if you don't give it time, to be honest, on your skin, if you're giving it just the first 5 minutes, you're missing the magic on this fragrance. It makes many users kind of walk away. That first opening, the first 5 minutes, there's nothing amazing about this fragrance. You have to give it at least 10 minutes. After that 10-minute initial shot, you're going to get if it's going to be a winner on your skin or if it's still going to be a loser. For me, it actually won me over after that first initial 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes, I was like, this is a train wreck. It's not going to have a good review on my channel. But again, it really shined after those first 10 minutes. Let's get into the dry down. Now, getting into the dry down, in the mid, it starts getting sweeter. You're going to start getting, you're going to be introduced more to the vanilla. It's going to give you that sweetness. The rum is still there. It kind of gives you that darkness to it. I really like the rum in here. Paired with that plum note, the rum, the vanilla, some of the spices with the plum note, just works. It works really well. Part of the depth in this dry down that I love in Lacoste Homme shows that apple cinnamon side of things, which reminds myself of one of my favorite designers, Boss Bottled. You're going to see, if you go to Fragrance and stuff like that, people are comparing these two fragrances. It's not as prominent as Boss Bottled as far as the apple and cinnamon goes. If you're thinking of a cinnamon bomb like Boss Bottled, don't think about it. But you know, vanilla, cinnamon, it's got a lot of the notes that Boss Bottled has. I prefer BB just because I'm a big BB fan. But it does show a little bit of Boss Bottled in here. It's kind of eerie in that way. It has an excellent blend here. I really felt like the spice paired with the sweetness, the plum, the rum, worked so well. In the base, you get a lot of musk. You get some vanilla, of course, to finish it off. The vanilla is the backbone of the scent. I really felt like, yeah, you got some woods here. You got the cedar and the sandalwood. Not hugely prominent, to be honest. More in the backbone or in the, basically a secondary note in this fragrance. But the vanilla almost took over the fragrance in some wearings. And you're going to see a lot of users are going to get a lot of vanilla. And it may take over the scent for you, and you're going to miss a lot of what I'm saying here today. So definitely give Lacoste Homme another chance if you're thinking just Vanilla Bomb or just the Boss Bottled clone. No, it's got more to it. The plum. You gotta get the magic of the plum in this fragrance. Now let's get into my final take. Let's start it off with recommended age. Recommended age for Lacoste Homme. I personally feel that this is a fragrance for everybody. Right down to your 2-year-old baby, right up to your 140-year-old grandpa. This fragrance works. It's basically for everybody. I really think this is actually great for teens. Teenagers that are looking for something that's not too challenging, not too dark, but nothing too fresh, you know, not too citrusy. This is one of those fragrances that's just that perfect combination of being in the middle of the road, especially if you're living in a colder climate like myself. This one's great for that. Bottles, what does it remind me of? To me, it reminds me a little bit of Boss Bottled. Again, you're going to see a lot of comparisons on this fragrance of Boss Bottled. To me, I feel this is a worse version of Boss Bottled, just because I prefer the Boss Bottled just has the right amount of notes for me. This one has that plum that sets it apart, really nice. Rum too, really nice. So you got to check both of them out and see which one you got. Obviously, Boss Bottled cinnamon is whoosh, way more in your face, and I love that about it. That's why. Awards, has it been in a top 10 list? No, unfortunately not on my channel. Best time to wear this fragrance? This has casual written all over it. This is a casual scent. Most Lacoste fragrances, in my opinion, are most likely casual. This can be a work time scent too, depending. If it's too warm in the office, don't. I really think that this one in the really warm weather won't work. I can see this also being worn on a night out too. Depending on your age, you're good to go as far as the best time to wear this fragrance. There's a lot of reasons why to wear this. This is actually almost signature scent worthy. Seasons. Lacoste Homme, colder spring days, you know, the not too cold fall days, summer nights. Oh la la, yes, it will work. Almost when it's a little windy outside, this one is a charm. Rainy days, good to go. Overcast, good to go. I like to put them in spring, fall, summer nights. Compliment factor, Lacoste Homme, when I was wearing it, again, I used quite a bit of this juice. Compliment factor wasn't too high, not too low. I had some highs and lows. I really think this is a average as far as compliment factor. There's nothing too crazy. I didn't sell any of these bottles, unfortunately. That's when it's high for me in the compliment factor. When somebody comes up to me and says, I need to know the name of this fragrance you're wearing because I want to buy a bottle right now. I've never got that from Lacoste Homme. I get some compliments here and there, and then I got some really, you know, some people don't like my fragrance, it's too strong, blah, blah, blah. I don't like it on you, stuff like that. So it's pretty much averaging out. My final take about the scent, let's get into a little bit more on my personal feelings on this one. This one trickles between the two genres of fresh versus darker fragrances, like the darker orientals. Makes it worthwhile for someone who does not have many scents. They can really wear this as a signature scent, to be honest with you. Definitely one of the better Lacoste scents. Yes, I'm going to agree on that point. One of the better Lacoste scents, but at the same time, if you're not a fan of Lacoste as a brand like me, you can skip this one and you're not going to be missing much here as far as scents goes. Now, why would you hate it? Why would you love it? Let's go hate. Why would you hate it? Synthetic like Lacoste does? Yeah, it still has that. It just doesn't feel right. Yeah, synthetic like Lacoste does. It always does. Sweetness. If you don't like it, it has that vanilla sweetness to it. You might not like this fragrance just because of that. Why would you love it? God, that plum note? Yes, that would sell me. I'm a huge fan of trying to find out a great plum based fragrance. This one is not great, but it's good, it's solid. The plum note, it will sell some units. One of the few Lacostes to check out. Yes, I'm on the bandwagon. I say that this one is definitely worth checking out. Is it a 10 out of 10? By any means, no it's not, but it is going to get a solid score for me. It's one of the better Lacoste. It's no Lacoste challenge. So let's get into my rating system. Let's go split screen. I'm going to give you guys a score from 1 to 10 on Lacoste, but let's go projection. This one is not too bad. It gets 6 bottles out of 10. It's middle of the road kind of projections, fairly average. I get 3 hours. The first 3 hours of this fragrance it projects. After that, it's starting to get more and more into a skin scent. Longevity, 6 bottles out of 10. This is a 5 to 7 hour fragrance on my skin. It never pushed more than 7. Sometimes it died down a little less than this. 5 to 7 is a good gauge on this one. A little low for me. Versatility, pretty high. This is probably the best score this fragrance is going to get is an 8 for versatility. Almost signature scent worthy, honestly, from me. So an 8, pretty good score. Overall smell, as far as the smell goes for Lacoste, this is going to be a pretty good score for this fragrance. It's a 7. That plum note really brought up the score of this fragrance, to be honest, and the rum too. Overall, as a collective, Lacoste Pour Homme is going to get a very solid 7 bottles out of 10, so it's definitely something that you should be checking out. This goes to buy, try, or pass, depending on who you are. This goes from a try to a pass. I'm very much lukewarm on this scent. 7 bottles out of 10 is a very solid score. If you miss it, you miss it. I'm not saying to go sample it right now. I really think this is a definite try to a pass depending on who you are. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about Lacoste Pour Homme. I'm sure a lot of you have smelt it, have a bottle, sold a bottle. You let me know what you think about this fragrance. Again, at the end of this video, I'm going to have comments from FGN, my Facebook group. Some people have posted their comments on this fragrance. We'll go ahead and take a look at those at the end of the video. Thank you for watching, guys. I can't wait to see all your comments about this fragrance. Have a good one.